Shorelines and shorelines, and ships and ships and ships arriving on the shoreline. My, on the shoreline, the captures without the catch, and then brine. I remember being down in a ship now, laying shackled and bound down. And the ship starts sailing away, sailing away from the banks of Africa. And I could hear an old woman say, my child, keep your head up high. And see, I just want to say humans, oh. This crown is because all the things that has been gathered along the way, and along the way, humans were laboring in fields after field, plantations after plantation, working from all sun up to sundown. I saw them working there 'cause I snuck off the sled chair. Snuck off the sled chair. Mentally, took that mental flight to see, the development of humankind, the development of humankind. I saw baby after baby being born. I saw life, because of the human brain been passed on. Passed on. I saw human working seed. Gathering, so much to be. I snuck off the sled. I snuck off the sled. Just to say, reality. I rode the winds of time along with the way. Now the rail would go from shoreline to shoreline, shoreline to shoreline, shoreline. I snuck off the slave ship that brought it rain. I remember the old woman said, keep your head up high. Keep your head up high. See, the best thing that I could tell you, you must hear off in this Smithsonian. Every bit of my crown, every bit of the treasure. Yeah, that we went out town and we gathered it all together. My. Can I sing to Washington, D.C.? Can I sing to Washington, D.C.? Yeah. All of our values. All of our values. Yeah, came from Brian Smithy. Yeah, from a long, long way. I was looking at Ellis Island the other day. And all the humans that was shifting there. They came from everywhere. Was all to be called Americans. Yeah, American. Can I sing it? America. We all love. Oh, we like to see that have to be so. Planted deep in the soil. My. Come on, band, play. Underneath my crown, with all the treasures you see, and live up to you and me. In this time of technology, to treat it with the best that we can. Hold your head high. Oh, yeah, hold your head high. The water began to wash me. And the wind brings in awesome storm. Your head's up high. Oh, yeah, it's up high. My. All up underneath my crown is the treasures of America. Again, thank you, Smithsonian, as for every artist that has existed to do wonderful works from brainsmithing. That's what I call it. That's a new word that's up here because maybe you all got it off a line when you saw me say it a few months ago. I just started using brainsmithing, really activating brainsmithing a few months ago. So I'm going to do this one. That one was done with black keys. This one is going to be done with white keys. So you'll see the difference in it. And please try to notice the difference and see what we are doing as a team up here. This had not been done. We don't practice. These two musicians are sitting here and they're looking at my fingers. They're looking at me and they're watching my movements. And what they're doing, they're enhancing by appreciating me. And I've been doing that with them for a while. So enhancement can be activated by appreciation. We need to start appreciating what all y'all are doing instead of just ignoring the fact that each one of you all are brainsmithing. You're putting out a lot of brain work. I hope y'all don't start using too many of those monsters, or I hope that they don't get mad at me and Red Bulls and all the energy drinks. Go back natural as much as you can. Grind up your own ginseng and ginger and get back to grandmama's value. Here we go. We're going to go back down to grandmama's value. I think it really started example by what was in the preserved jar. And how keeping us safe. I thought about all of the stitching and sewing in the making of so many things by hand, you know. So if you look at what I'm wearing on the top of my head and look at all my jewelry that I had cluttered up together, it's really, really taken in the value. Taking up the values of grandmama and grandfather too. Remembering what they taught us and what they showed us how to do. I was just a curious little boy. Never drove any interest in no toys at all. When I looked at something, I tried to reduce it down to the lowest term. See, you can hold one single seed in your hand, and when it grows, it can turn up and grow up to be the tallest tree in the land. I said, my, before I cry, before I lay down and give up and say, oh, I can't do it. was said to the kind spirit, I'll do the best I can, I will try. See, I love grandmama so, love grandpa, well, I call him grandpa, grandfather so. I saw them work themselves down until they couldn't get out of bed no more. Now let me tell you something about the energy to the brain. The energy to the human brain is so special. See, I know a doctorologist, that means doctors, an autologist kind of manner. You all know about technology. Well, doctology is those that care about the human body by teaching about the human brain. I think this message needs to go out to the human beyond America, beyond America. See, we only the lesson. We only is an example of what humans can achieve and do. Thought about my grandfather used to go out in the outhouse, sit there sometime all night long, thinking about his labor, thinking about his labor. And I thought about my grandmother had 3 favorite shelves, and when she went to dig the grave, a favorite shovel she would use. But through all the graves that have to be dug, and through all the tables that food need to be put upon, we need to turn back to the old preserved area. And I know y'all got Facebook, Twitter a lot of. Y'all got data and data. Y'all got it by the megabytes, the terabytes. And daily you'll use your gigabyte. And lately y'all added a satellite to the sky with the capability of holding thousands of terabytes at a time. Y'all call it the cloud manner. Relying on the cloud, but I told everybody now you can abuse digitally. You can abuse it digitally. Me and my friends was riding in the van today. We had one of those things you plug up that give you extra electricity through the van. This little box got so hot it started beep, 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 beep. It was like, cut me off, cut me off, cut me off. Shut me down, shut me down, shut me down. Let me cool down, let me cool down, let me cool down. I'm only appetizing. I'm only amplifying. somewhere up in this area. I've been to y'all beautiful place called Niagara Falls. But that dam, that old dam, that's creating all your kilowatts. Sometimes need to be shut down, creating all y'all kilowatts. But y'all know it's more BTU being used in the summertime than you can ever imagine. BTU, that's an air conditioner. Baby, oh, I'm sweating. Cut the air conditioner on, honey. Oh, you're burning, you're burning, you're burning, you're burning, you're burning, you're burning, and the dam keep the water turning and turning. Oh, to make your kilowatts. Oh, and then your kilowatts got to be distributed. And then we got a lot of places that's using a lot of coal. Now, when it get down to the coal mining, they say that's a dirty job. But it's gonna dirty until we get all the fossil. We're gonna get all the blood of all the dinosaurs. You know, crust ties, when all that mixed down, it just grinds and compresses itself down. That's all it's all about. We don't wanna see, y'all don't wanna even now use your scientific ability. Y'all don't wanna hear what the scientists have to say. And I know good and well you don't wanna hear what I have to say, but listen at this right here. I went to sleep one night, fell off into a deep dream. The next morning I woke up in a fucked up America. The next morning I woke up in a fucked up America. Cause if we lose our value over some small change, see, y'all can holler about a few billion, you know? I'm gonna give him a few billion, he'll be satisfied. But this place that I'm in, called the Smithsonian, gonna take trillions and trillions all the way into the zillion just to preserve. Y'all don't wanna hear what I'm talking about. If we had to put a border all around this place, just in case a flood came along, none of these treasures in here would be harmed. This is called preserving. And when I raise this brain of mine to look back down, I only see grandmama preserve y'all all around, all around, all around. But we got to screw the top on tight, because any other water, any bad air will sour everything it contains and spoil it, spoil it right away. I know it's wonderful when we can Some say retrace our footsteps. But I want to be thankful for all the contributors and all those that has made donations to the Smithsonian. And all the hard work that has happened and that will continue to happen. I step back in my footsteps earlier today. I walk back up the steps of the old American way. I seen some, not so much a handwriting on the wall, but I seen from art to art what the hands had did, y'all. And I know the other day, maybe a week and a half ago, women start marching all around. But sometime in the values of what we do, it's showing how we appreciate and what far we go through. I wanted to say, I heard babies crying way down, down, down by the river. I heard grandparents and great-grandparents crying out to God, saying, Lord, 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 have mercy. Have mercy on me. They said to the Spirit, forgive me if I did anything wrong. If some kind of way, I sowed the wrong seed along the wrong hillside. And if the water barriers have gotten too tight, and they don't want to carry the water no more, Lord, 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 my God, forgive me. And if there's any reason through my communication I spoke to anyone in the wrong way, please forgive me. If I've grown in the vineyard of love now, and love been harvested all around me, picking me off one grape at a time, just to get it all together and turn me into wine. If I did wrong along my way, if I caused the sun not to be evil, to be seen shining, if I polluted the air, and I caused the water to run dirty, and the particulation not being magnified to a human caring degree, and then the water that the baby eternity, yeah. In the crevices of Mother Earth. Up and now, about to take Mother Earth under consideration and say, Earth, you're sick now. Earth, you're sick. I need to give you transfusion. Need to clean you out. See, human, we done did so much wrong. And we allowed to flow on. See, I'm not trying to scare you, but all those bombs that fail, that bomb juice going on. All that liquid fire had to flow somewhere. And all that was early morning, it said, I come to the garden alone. Why the dew is still on the roses. I come to inspect the flowers. I come to see what the dew do. When it all falls down, I come to see, yeah, what it do when it affects the roots that's growing all beneath the ground. Oh, my, human, I step back on the footsteps of time. See, when we was coming on in, I done been up in the air before. I've seen the graveyards and the graveyards and the graveyards and the tombstones of the unknown soldiers. Unknown soldiers. And I saw the tombs of the tombs of the tombs of the tombs and the entombment of one we love. I'm saying Washington, D.C. is a representative, is a big representative, is a big representative from the day. And all the amendments, they're like floating ghostly words. All the amendments is like floating ghostly words contained in the treasures, contained in the treasures of this here house. I mean, my. See, I don't want to go to crying and crying, 'cause I know what my tears will do. Human, let's stop crying and let's work together. And it's gonna take the money we has inherited, all the money we have inherited from those old back footsteps. Back footsteps. I step back into the old footsteps. Sometime I have to say, excuse me, kind spirit. Sometime I have to say, guide me, kind spirit. Conduct my way. We're in love. We're in a kind of agape love. I remember Dr. King said, now I can, if I don't mind, y'all don't mind me using that name, it's Black History Month here, African American History Month. And I like to make it clear, Hey, we all came from some ancestors, woundsmithing, brainsmithing, what the blood have done to give us a lineage, to give us a connection with the DNA. All I can do is say, be the best at what you do, Dr. King said. Be the best at what you do, Dr. King said. Be the best at what you do, Dr. King said. Be like a king and a queen at what you do, Dr. King said. Be the best at what you do. The moral of his whole life and his story is to look back, step back in the footsteps of time and gain recognition. In the Bible it says, study, study, study to make yourself approval. Show them that America's, all of us humans ain't nothing but studiers to a studier degree. I'm sorry I didn't have the education you all wanted me to have, but the Spirit gave me the education to sit right there. The Spirit gave me this education. Come on, band, play it to 'em. Every now and then we need to just check yourself. Check yourself. Check yourself. I remember when my grandmama and granddaddy always, every time we leave home, yes, the children, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. See, that self needs you every now and then now to go stepping back into memory. Check out your memory bank and make sure you don't over withdraw now. But every now and then deposit some brand new value in your memory bank. And never, as they say, something I don't want to call all these names because they get upset with me, but never leave home without them. Don't leave home without them. Just in case you need to make a quick withdrawal. Just in case you need to make a quick withdrawal. You can be on the subway, on a fast train. You may be in the air on a jet plane. You may just be carring and trucking along. Maybe you riding on a bus, on the ship on the water. Boats, you know all those boats now, on something that flows. Hey, drifting along, those values, that's me and he say, slow down. Check out your time now. It's all right. When you get snowed in, get on, get on up, get on up, get on up, and activate that brain. Do something with it. As you would say back in the day, because most of the Negroes, they didn't have a journal or they didn't have a diary because they didn't know how to read and write. But they kept it in their head. They kept thinking along the way. And that's what kind of person I am. Just think. I keep it in my head. Then I sit down and I sing it out. Okay, I don't want to hold up. I don't want to cause any extra time on the timeline. I got time. Okay, I got time. So I'm gonna give you all this one, but it's gonna be on white keys again. A few minutes ago, Ben and I, we were just sitting up in there. Practice make perfect. And I was thinking about sound and how all musicians somehow or another have made sound. And we thought about if we can allow sound to leave for Mother Earth, and somehow or another go heavenly, and see if they can't be bound up in heaven, and if angels catch sound, and throw it back down. I just want to say, because of this being the Smithsonian, and to all the musicians, will never get a chance to play here yet. We want to say, angel, angels that catch the sound, and bring it as far as the room of Mother Earth, just to throw it back down. And as it begin to vibrate, into awesome wonder, as they go off in the human ear, and to their ears, and on into the brain of wonderfication. Wonderfication is a place that sounds can be taken for the best, not for granted. I thought about so many is dead and gone. So many have made sounds in America, so extraordinary. Made sound. Sounds, if I could say, I made to heaven. If I could measure heaven with the ruler, and the ruler be infinity. If I could measure heaven and the ruler be infinity, yeah, and the everlasting, never-ending method. As Mother Universe continued to go on forward, and the sounds of humanity, now listen that if sound could be caught by angels' hand, and from their fingertips, and even from the tip of their lips, and if the babies need to learn how to make music, or make any art in any kind of way, grant them the opportunity to use the brain, the human brain, the best that they can. Use it every day. Listen, let me tell y'all about a constant thing that's happening. Have you all noticed how much the sun burns? Have you all noticed how much along the way it's grown now? It growed every seed. Do you know every seed make a sound as it break the ground and began to grow? So it sounds could be like those seeds falling back down just to grow, grow in another season, for to be a nourishment of our lifetime. My. See, some sounds could be rare. The sounds of grandmothers and mothers, or the sounds of humans making sounds to each other. You see, our animal knows its own personal sound, and a creature may be creaking around till it hears the sound, And for some reason, underneath the water, all the fish is swimming there. No matter how huge the school of fish may be, oh, they know the sound. They know the sound of rushing water. They even know the still water they be in. I remember when I was a little bitty boy, he said, still water run deep. Still water run deep. But it makes a sound. I try not to force no lessons on nobody, but please allow this to become lessons for some of us. Post to your friends and let them know what you've learned. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay. Sir, what you said? Yes. Oh. I think I heard this, and truth will crush the earth. That's a sound. I got less than 4 minutes and some odd seconds now. So let's do this one quickly.
Is it quick?
From the day of birth, from the time we began to serve the earth, you gotta understand that we are all servants. This is why you was born, from your day of birth. To serve Mother Earth as she continued to go round, round, and round. I think I had said that I'm just a suspect. I'm a suspect all around, up or down. And see, we all have allowed ourselves to be, and we're being watched. Technology has put eyes all around in every kind of way. I said I'm just a suspect in America. Oh, when I see what the education system is gonna be like, and how much, Dr. George Washington Carver said, you got to clear the field before you have a field. But know this, America, everything in the field is yours to you. And see, all of this art in here has been made of something from Mother Earth. Some of it is from hard stone. Some of it is from ore and metal of all kinds. Some called steel. And some of it has come from many sorts of wood. Yeah, yeah. If we could have taken all the ship's canvases and just sewed them down, we would have had a lot more painters painting art of the town. But then there was grandmother tearing all our rags and our clothes down, doing quilting and refabrication, taking them loose thread by threads. I say from the time we be born, I call it life smithing or womb smithing, to the time we die, I call that tomb smithing. We're giving birth to one another, and we're digging graves for each other. Y'all don't want to hear what I have to say. I'm sorry I can't tell you to close up your brain. Open up the door and let me in. Here I stand knocking on your brain door. Open up the door of your brain and let me in. Here I stand knocking on your brain door. Knocking, knocking, over and over again, trying to tell you there's a storm coming. Wind is blowing, so hard against my skin. Let me in, let me in. The climate, oh, the climate. Temperatures are out of control. I thought about if I got up on a mountain top, like Mount Everest or Mount Kilimanjaro, and I made me a little snowball, and I got my snowball rolling down the hill. How far would it roll before it melts on? Turn into water that be flushed on down the hill with mud. Oh, can you understand? It was something that's been too long. If you cook a piece of bread and you let that bread get harder and drier, and then when you pour some water on it, it's just gonna fall apart. But something is wrong with our climate. Something is wrong with everywhere been flooded and infiltration, leaks and bleedings. Most of all of our cavities and our caves is full up with water. And as we rode along, we saw a human landfill. I'm kind of scared of those landfills, because I seen the water just sinking in below the garbage, and the garbage on the rise, and the garbage is on the rise. It may not be our lifetime, but garbage sites or landfills are gonna start popping like popcorn. Or if y'all can be familiar with Baton Rouge, Louisiana, when the water starts flooding in the graves and the containment, the coffins and things start popping out of the graveyard, floating down the highway. My thing is, humans, are we doing enough to become aware? It's not that we gotta fight, fuss, cuss over any mental matter. We got to come together right now and be like ants in a hill, or be like bees of a field. We got to work together. That's all I can say about it. And I want to say thank you all, Smithsonian and all of your staff and members. I want to say thank you, Washington, D.C., all of your administrators, because, you know, I'm going all the way back to the Day of the Dead here. To all of you all administrators, I say thumbs up to Mother Universe. Thumbs up to Mother Universe, and thank you all again. Thank you all. Thumbs up to Mother Universe. Happy birthday, Lonnie.